On a dark night in 1773, what happened in Boston Harbor changed the course of history forever. A group of men, a box of tea, and the secret story behind the birth of a nation. Today, we uncover it all.
Behind America's independence lie truths that school textbooks never tell. If this story shook you, and share it. Subscribe now. Was the Tea Party really that simple? Or was there blood, betrayal, and fear behind it? Let's travel back to 1770s Boston, where anger against British rule was boiling in every street. The story began with a fight over taxes Cowan, and ended with the birth of a new nation.
In the 1600s, people sailed from Europe to a new land, which later became 13 British colonies.
Over time, these colonies grew. Towns rose, trade expanded, and dreams grew bigger. But after a long war with France, Britain's treasury was empty, and its eyes turned to the colonies to recover the cost. In 1765 came the Stamp Act, a British tax on every paper, newspaper, even playing cards. No taxation without representation. Colonists erupted with this slogan as thousands took to the streets. Under pressure, the Stamp Act was repealed, but Britain didn't stop, imposing the new Townshend Acts instead.
Secretly formed, the Sons of Liberty, a group of brave men who kept the fire of resistance alive. In 1770, the Boston Massacre occurred, unarmed civilians killed by British soldiers' gunfire. This event poured fuel on the fire. Public hatred toward the British grew even deeper. Meanwhile, the British East India Company was nearing bankruptcy. Warehouses full of unsold tea.
To save the company, the British Parliament passed the Tea Act, aimed at boosting tea sales in the colonies. The act gave the East India Company a monopoly, the right to sell tea directly in the colonies. But the colonists saw through the real trick. Hidden behind cheap tea was a tax trap.
A boycott of British tea began. Households vowed they would not touch this tea.
December 1773, 3 British ships loaded with tea dropped anchor in Boston Harbor. Governor Hutchinson refused to let the ships return, insisting the tea must be unloaded. Thousands gathered at the Old South Meeting House. A decision had to be made now.
Samuel Adams stood and spoke. Every word he uttered sparked like fire. Boston Harbor will be a teapot tonight!
A final request was sent to the governor, but the answer was a cold refusal. As night fell, the decision was final. Tonight, the tea that shackled their freedom would be destroyed. December 16, 1773. Under the cover of darkness, a mysterious group emerged onto Boston's streets. They disguised themselves as Mohawk Indians, faces painted with soot, wrapped in blankets. The disguise was symbolic. Hiding their identity, they meant to declare this an American fight. Around 110 to 130 men joined the group, marching silently toward Griffin's Wharf. 3 ships stood at the dock, the Dartmouth, Eleanor, and Beaver, the 3 enemies loaded with tea. The group silently boarded the ships. No shouting, no chaos, just firm resolve. Axes broke open the tea chests. The crack of splitting wood shattered the night's silence. That night, around 342 chests of tea were broken open precipices, weighing over 90,000 pounds. One by one, the tea was dumped into the cold seawater, history's most expensive tea bath. Everything you've just seen comes from real historical record. If you believe we got something wrong, prove it in the comments below.
To watch part 2, subscribe now. Don't miss what happens next.